Hi, it's Maria Sheehan. Welcome to my webinar, The Fast Track to Success. So today, as promised, we are going to be talking about the 5 things that prevent us from moving forward into success. Now, at the end of this webinar, you will receive your PDF that will detail those 5 obstacles and, of course, how to overcome them. So if you have any questions, type them in the chat box. I am on my own. I don't have a moderator, so I'll probably get back to you right at the end of the webinar, but I will get back to you. So just type your questions into the box and let's get started. Yay, so let's get started on the fast track to success. Hello and welcome again, everyone. And I'm really grateful to get to speak with you today on these really amazing principles that will help you design the success and increase the results that you want in life, which is exactly what happened to me when I applied these same principles in my own life. So welcome, this is me, Maria Sheehan. I am a Proctor Gallagher consultant and I'm a personal growth mentor. So what does that mean exactly to you? Well, I work as a consultant for the Proctor Gallagher Institute, and what I do is I show people how to shift their paradigms or habits to get new permanent results in their personal and professional lives. So I help people achieve a success mindset which influences all areas of their lives. Now, you can live your life by design and create any of the successes that you want as long as you know how to change your mind. But it takes willingness to change and commitment to get the results you want in life. So you have to really embrace these principles and just keep an open mind as we go through today's webinar. So today, as I said, I want to share with you the 5 reasons why we stop success and how to step into the change that you want. Now, this is my mentor, Bob Proctor. You might know him from the movie The Secret, which is out in 2008. It's a movie about the law of attraction. Now, Bob is a guru in the field of human potential and personal growth, and I came across his material about 5 years ago, and my professional and personal life changed immensely. Sorry, excuse me. And that's why I'm here today. I want to share this information with as many people as possible. I actually had a really successful photography business that became successful because I applied Bob's principles to it, but I became so passionate about personal growth and about this material that I decided to ditch my photography business and then become a personal growth mentor. Okay, so the 5 reasons why we stop our success. Reason number 1, the lack of clearly defined goals, the knowing doing gap, self-image, overwhelm, and fear. Now, I love this quote by Albert Einstein. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Now, one of the things that really got to me the first time I heard Bob speak, he said something that I was just dumbfounded and I felt like I'd been woken up from a very long, deep sleep or a trance. He said, people don't think. So what does he mean by that? You know, he said if we were to stop the average person on the street and ask them what they were thinking, they would be speechless because we do not think. Now, mental activity is not thinking. Mental activity is thinking, did I leave the stove on, when I went to work this morning? Or, oh, what do I need to get in the shops tonight when I need to go shopping? Or that's mental activity. That's your mind just babble in your mind. It's not thinking, not real thinking. When Bob talks about thinking, he means consciously engaging your mind in visualizing your desired life or your desired outcome. It's always having your mind trained on what you want. Okay, so being very mindful of your thoughts and thinking about, what you want in life. So you're going to learn a lot more about that in this webinar. And I'm going to show you how to shift your paradigms and design the life you want. Okay, so let's get into it. Reason number 1, the lack of clearly defined goals. Now, I have to be honest, even though I had a successful business, when I start listening to Bob, I had goals, but they were in my head, not the same as a business plan. I did have a goal, I just didn't have it written down. And so many of us, me included at the time, did not understand the importance of goal setting. And a goal should be written down, and it should be where you can see it, where you can speak it and imagine it daily. Mine is on my whiteboard on my desk, right beside my vision board, where I can see it and it evokes those emotions every time I look at the images and read the text and thinking of my goal. It never leaves me. So a goal is like, if you think of it this way, it's like your compass in life. To be successful, you need to know two things: where you are now and where you want to be, where you want to go. So if your goal is like your compass in life and you don't have a goal, then you're lost. Love this quote. In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. Okay, there's three types of goals I want to talk to you about today. A-type goals. An A-type goal is doing something you already know how to do. B-type goals. These are goals that you think you can do. So for example, in my photography business, I wanted to win the Best of Clark County, which is an award for local businesses in the Clark County area in Vancouver, Washington. Now, I knew that I wanted to win, but it was a B-type goal. Why? Because I knew if I, first of all, put myself in the running, I might be accepted. You know, I could ask my friends and colleagues and all my clients to vote for me. And I know if I put it on my Facebook page and promoted it and asked people to vote, I might win. And I did. Okay. So it was what I thought I could do. And I did. It was a B type goal. Did it help me grow? No. Did it help me expand? No. C type goals. This is a worthy goal, a worthy ideal. C-type goals are your wants. It's what you really, really want. Everyone should have a C-type goal written down. So C-type goals come from your fantasies and are originated through the effective use of your imagination. So how do you build that fantasy? How do you find out what you want? Now, many people, many of you listening to this will say, well, I don't really know what I want, but I don't believe that. Not for 1 second. I think that you do know what you want, but you reject it. You reject it as soon as you think of it because you think it's too big, it's too much, it's too huge. I don't know how to get it. Well, it has to be huge, it has to be big, and you shouldn't know how to get it. The how is not up to you, that's up to the universe, spirit, infinite mind, infinite intelligence, whatever it is you relate to. The how is not up to you. You just have to dream big. So here's what you're going to do, and here's the exercise. You're going to sit down, relax, and think about all of your wants. You're going to write them down like a shopping list, all of your wants. Don't discount or reject anything. Then from there, you are going to write out your goal statement. And once you've written out your goals, you're going to rewrite your goal statement in the present tense, starting with the sentence, I am. Present tense, I am. Why? Because the subconscious mind, which is the part of the mind we are going to affect in achieving our goals, does not know the difference between real or imagined. So if you tell your subconscious mind that you already have something, it does not know the difference. It does not know whether you have or you have not. So you're going to start your goal with, I am so happy and grateful now that I have my dream job in my dream company, earning my dream salary, whatever it is. If you have several goals, you should have a personal and professional goal. Write it in the present tense. Make sure you can see it, that it's in front of you on your desk, in your car, in your bathroom, in your kitchen. I don't care. Just make sure you can see it, speak it, visualize it every day, several times a day. Make a condensed version and put it on a goal card. Now, at the end of this webinar, if you've signed up and you stay to the end, you will be receiving a PDF with a goal card and detailed instructions on how to set your goals, amongst other things. Okay, so important thing, get emotionally involved with your goal, with what you really, really want, and believe. Expect an abundance, believe that you are going to receive. I love this quote by William James. Believe, and your belief will create the fact. So, reason number two, the knowing doing gap. So, there's a big difference between what people know and what they do. Why is that? So, to get results, you have to know two things. You have to know where you are and where you want to be. So that looks really simple, right? You know where you are and you know where you want to go. So what's stopping us? What creates failure for some people? What keeps us stuck? Paradigms. So for a person to experience permanent change in their personal and professional life, there must be a change in the primary cause of their results, which resides in our subconscious mind. Paradigms. Paradigms are what keeps us stuck where we are and prevents us from moving forward into success. What is a paradigm? A paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all of our behavior is habitual. So, for example, if you want to release weight, we never say lose it because you will always find that lost weight if you don't change your self-image. But if you want to release weight, for instance, you're not just trying to change your diet or exercise habits, okay? Because they are actions or behaviors on the outside of your subconscious mind, and you won't get permanent results. You'll find that weight that you released or you lost, okay? You're trying to change a paradigm, which are the ideas, beliefs, and habits that are deeply ingrained and locked in your subconscious mind. Now, you can't change a paradigm by self will alone. We were taught that there are two ways to change a paradigm. Okay, one of them is a huge emotional impact. 9/11 is a great example of that. Or by constant space repetition. Repetition is key. Because if you think of it this way, how did that paradigm get into your subconscious mind in the first place? Repetition. How did we learn our names when we were children? Repetition. Maria, what's that? Maria, look at the doggy. Maria, what does a cow say? You know, that you're hearing your name over and over again. It's ingrained in our subconscious mind. So if paradigms are implanted in our subconscious mind through repetition, that's how we're going to replace them with good, positive paradigms, is through repetition. So a habit is a redundant set of automatic unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that are acquired through repetition. So the knowing doing gap. A person can never do better than they do. Why? Because if it's how we are programmed. We know better, but that doesn't matter. We still don't do what we should do, right? Because it's our paradigms that are holding us back. What you do most of the time is motivated primarily by your paradigm. The paradigm controls our behavior, but not our intellect. That's why you know what you should do, but we don't do it. So when you watch a person's behavior over a period of time, even your own behavior, it's actually amazing when you become really self-aware and observant of what you're doing. You'll notice that there are repeated patterns. You'll see people, they never change because their pattern is controlled by that paradigm. Now, to understand your mind and to learn how to shift your habits and create the life you desire, you need to understand how the mind functions, okay? And in order to do that, you need to have a visual. You need to have an image of the mind. Now, if I ask you right now, think of your mind, what are you going to think of? Okay? Hold on to that thought. So, because as humans, we think in pictures. And to change your mind, like I said, you've got to be able to visualize it. So, what was that image when I asked you to think of your mind? What did you think of? Because this is not the mind. Mind is an activity. This is the brain. The brain is a physical thing. The mind is not. The mind is activity. But I do have a visual that I want to share with you. Now, you might be amused, but don't laugh at the simplicity of this, because lots of therapists have been very thankful of this. We call it the stick figure or the magic genie. And this little figure here was invented by a chiropractor called Dr. Thurman Fleet. And I think it was back in 1934 he came up with this. So for the sake of this presentation, the top circle is going to be the mind and the bottom is going to be the body. Now the mind, we are going to divide that into two parts, okay? The conscious and the subconscious mind. We're going to say the conscious is on the top and the subconscious is on the bottom. Now, our paradigms are deeply rooted in that bottom part of our mind, which is the subconscious mind. And that's where we need to replace the paradigm with positive paradigms. Now, we perceive the world around us through our senses of sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. But we also have 6 intellectual faculties: perception, will, imagination, memory, intuition, and reasoning. So again, they are our 6 intellectual faculties. Now, this is really fascinating and really important. The conscious mind has the power to accept or reject any thought, right? Our conscious thinking mind has the power to accept or reject any thought. But like I said before, the subconscious mind cannot reject any thought impressed upon it from the conscious mind. It doesn't know the difference between real or imagined. It has to accept it. So it can accept any thought pressed down upon it from the conscious mind, both positive and negative. So the subconscious mind is also that part of the mind that controls our body and our behaviors. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how we build those new habits to create those new results. So our conscious mind, like I said, is our thinking mind, and our subconscious mind is our emotional mind. Now, if we know the subconscious mind cannot, it has to accept whatever is pressed upon it from the conscious mind. So if we're going to press down thoughts into our subconscious mind, what kind of thoughts should they be? They should be thoughts of things that we really want, okay? Things that we do want, positive things, good things. How do we do that? How do we impress those thoughts into our subconscious mind of things that we want permanently? Through visualization and repetition. Visualization because we think in pictures, repetition, repetition, repetition. When we do that, what happens? Bearing in mind the subconscious mind controls our bodies, what happens as we get emotionally involved with those thoughts that we do want through visualization and repetition? What happens to our body? We get emotionally involved, and then it changes the vibratory state of our body. We are all energy. We're all made from energy. We vibrate. We have a frequency. When you get emotionally involved with those thoughts you're impressing on your subconscious mind through visualization and repetition, you change your vibratory state. What does that do? It changes your behaviors and your actions, right? Because we did it from the inside out. We did it through the subconscious mind. Changing our behavior and action causes action, which in turn causes a reaction from the universe, changing your results and your reality. Okay. And here's Muhammad Ali. He's going to back me up on this. It's a repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. A deep conviction. You're getting emotionally involved. Belief, repetition, emotionally involved. Things start to happen. And you just learned the science of how and why. So just to recap on those points. Thoughts and ideas causes feelings when we get emotionally involved. Sorry, I skipped over that. Let me do that again. So our thoughts and ideas, when we get emotionally involved, causes feeling, which causes new behaviors and actions, which in turn creates new results. Reason number 3, self-image. This is one of my favorite subjects because it has such an impact in all areas of your life. It's crazy. What matters most is how you see yourself. So we have 2 images that we hold in our mind. We have the image of how we really see ourselves, and then we have that image of how the world sees us, how we walk, talk, dress, etc. So your results are always a reflection of what is going on in your subconscious mind, of what is going on internally. If you have a negative self image of yourself, your results are going to be a reflection of that image, okay? So if you have a really negative view or self image of yourself that's fixed in your subconscious mind, your results are going to be negative. If you have an amazing positive self image, then your results are going to be positive. Now, you are the only person in the entire world that has the ability to improve your self image. Nobody else can do that for you. So you have the power here to create massive change. So you have to ask yourself, if you think of your life as a movie, are you the star or are you an extra in your own movie? So your self-image was created by experiences. It can be changed the same way by acting as if. What do I mean by acting as if? Here's a great exercise. I want you to think of somebody that you admire. Now, it doesn't even have to be the person as a whole, that you admire, but maybe there are certain traits that this person has that you greatly admire and wish you had. Make a note of them. You can choose several people and list out some of the traits that they have that you would really like to encompass, that you would like to have yourself. So I want you to write those out, and I want you to write your own life script, your own movie. Think of yourself as a person with those traits. And just like your goal, I want you to write it out in the present tense. I am. Write out all of those traits that you now possess. We're going to tell your subconscious mind that you have all of those traits, you are all of those things. It can't it can't reject. It has to accept it. It doesn't know the difference between real or imagined. That is so important. So you are going to act as if, and I want you to visualize yourself as that person. Act as if you are that person, because like we just said, your self-image was created by experiences. It can be changed the same way by acting as if. Build that image of that person you want to become. Think of the traits that you respect or admire in that individual. Create a list, write out the description, act as if. Okay, 5 steps to becoming a better you. Evaluate your beliefs about yourself. If you examine where those beliefs came from, you'll realize they're just not true. Like in the past, years ago, I had a really bad self image because I had been really hurt by people in the past who said some really horrible things to me and about me. I let those affect me and I let those experiences build my self image. But when I sat down and I said, I believe that I'm unworthy, I believe that I'm not good enough, is that true? Is it? Do I have any sound proof that proves that I'm not good enough, that I'm not worthy? No, of course I don't. It's not true. Think about how you want to be known or who you want to be known as. Those traits. What are those traits that you want? Reprogram those beliefs. We know how. Act as if. Repetition, visualization. Become the leading role in your life story. Write out your own life script. Stop being an extra in your own life story. Start acting as if. Be the person you want to be, or just, just have courage to be yourself and not give a crap about anyone else. So here's something I want to share that was life-changing for me. And if you want to look her up or Google her name is Marissa Peer, and she is an English hypnotherapist, and she is amazing, and she tells people to write these words. If you're a woman with lipstick, write it on your mirror, write it on your whiteboard, guys. Just say it to yourself 100 times a day. I am enough. I am enough. I have always been enough. I am more than enough. Isn't that amazing? You keep telling yourself that every day, several times a day. Reason number 4 that stops us from being successful: overwhelm. The conscious mind needs order. If we focus on the end result, it causes overwhelm. So, what do I mean by that? When you're setting those big, worthy C type goals, if you focus too much on how am I going to get there? How's this going to happen? You are going to get overwhelmed, which will cause all types of fear and anxiety to pop up and push you back into your comfort zone. The how is not up to you. I'm going to say that again. It's so important. The how is not up to you. Write your worthy goal out. Have belief. Your belief will create the fact. Expect an abundance. Okay? The how is not up to you. It's up to who is it you resonate with? God, infinite mind, infinite intelligence, spirit, whoever it is. The how is not up to you. When we focus on the how, we just go into overwhelm, and this causes us to go into paralysis and back to safety. We need to give ourselves direction, and it helps to create actions that break down the necessary steps to achieve our goals. So consider creating a 3-foot toss. Okay, what does that mean? Well, what happens when you go to play a game of horseshoes for the first time? You try to hit that post that's 20 feet away. What are your chances of doing that? What are your chances of getting that horseshoe around that post? 0, maybe very marginal percentage. But what if that post was 3 feet away? What are the chances that you're going to hit the post? You have every possibility, don't you, if it's only 3 feet away? So when we as people feel like we've accomplished a baby step, we grow in confidence and feelings of success. And in order to attract success, you need to feel it. Remember, we're acting as if. So practice acknowledging your successes or your baby steps all day long so that you attract more of it to you. Another way to increase your success is to, support another person's success. Genuinely be authentic from a place of good. Support other people's success. It will come back to you manifold. Okay, but we do not sow and reap in the same season. So don't expect it to come back immediately. We do not sow and reap in the same season. Reason number 5. Okay, if you have overwhelm, you're going to have fear. Highly successful people are constantly out of their comfort zone, just like this little goldfish. They form habits of doing things that failures do not want to do because fear equals growth. No, it's not that they love doing those things that make them uncomfortable. They just make them a habit. So what happens when we get overwhelmed and we find fear? You start to create excuse after excuse after excuse of why you can't do something. You create these mental blocks, justifications, rationalizations, more excuses to not move forward. Your paradigm is controlling your logical mind. So here's what happens. So here's our stick person again, the magic genie. So when you start to get really involved with that goal, and you're pushing it down into your subconscious mind, something happens. You're getting emotionally involved, and it's going to start changing your behaviors, actions, and results like we already discussed. But it also does something else. As you entertain that new idea, that new goal, you hit something called the terror barrier. And it doesn't feel very good. I've hit it a few times. But there's a way you can get through it, and it's very simple. But that worry and fear will make us anxious, and you literally feel physically sick when you hit the terror barrier. When you were doing something new, you have anxiety. I've actually had full-on panic attacks when I decided to do something huge and jump out of my fishbowl and in towards growth. It is terrifying. And here's the thing: in order to break through into freedom, you have to expand your awareness, and you do that through knowledge and understanding. And what do I mean by that? When you understand that you are reprogramming your subconscious mind, you are replacing those negative paradigms with a new positive paradigm, or you're entertaining a new thought, a new goal, a new idea, and you know you're getting emotionally involved with it. And because of that, it's changing your vibration, your behavior, your thought, your actions and results. When you know that's what's happening and that's what's causing the anxiety and the wanting to puke and, you want to bounce back into safety, it's the understanding of what's happening within your mind and body, which gives you the strength to push through into freedom. Now, it's not going to be eliminated. It's not going to go away. The anxiety won't go away. You just have to keep pushing, 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 because on the other side, there is freedom and success. So it's a knowledge and understanding of what's happening in your mind that is the key to ultimate freedom. And just remember this: every time that you feel afraid and you have worry, doubt, anxiety, that cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. You just have to keep pushing through. So that was it, everyone. That was the 5 things that stop us from being successful and how to overcome it. Now, at the end of this webinar, you will be receiving your PDF that will show you how to set goals and how to set up affirmations. And I have a little bit about repetition, etc. So that's your freebie. But this is what I do. This is what I do full time. That was just a snippet. I take people through 6 months of mentoring and through this program right here called Thinking into Results. And it is really, really powerful and life-changing. And that is basically what my mentoring program is. So it's a guided, proven process with over 50 years to set and achieve worthy goals. So Bob has like 55 years experience in this industry. He's like, I think 83 now, and he's been doing this for such a long time. He's been studying this material his whole life, and that's what you get. You get his knowledge. And thinking into results helps you design the goal, and you get inspired by it, and you will commit to it because you have a mentor working through it with you and holding you by the hand, and it changes your paradigms and eliminates negative habits and beliefs permanently. I know, because I am a product of the project. I have changed my beliefs and my life is totally different. Support and accountability. You can study with like-minded people, you can join groups, you can have group mentoring sessions, but you also have laser one-on-one coaching sessions with your mentor. Now, thinking into results can be used for any area of your life. It can change your career, business, relationships, finances, and so much more. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like a free, no obligation consultation, visit my website and you can actually book a session online. If you're in Vancouver or Portland, Oregon, we can meet in person and there's absolutely no obligation. I love helping people. If I can just get you started and, help change one paradigm, then that makes me really happy, and there's no obligation. Other than that, stay connected. Like me on Facebook or follow me on Instagram. My Twitter following is hideous. So I just can't get Twitter. I'm sorry, I just don't get it. But anyway, I'm trying. So stay connected, and I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you learned something today. That really would mean a lot to me. If you have any questions, type them in the chat box. And I'm on my own here, so I will get back to you as quickly as I can. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.